Okay. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot in the police department's evidence room. What's this "and the evidence room" part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it! Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright! Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go! Science awaits us! Okay. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum. Was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief... The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence of the crime scene? Never. Even though she says they didn't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just... we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there's blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press... Enter. to spray it on. Okay. Probably A. Let's find some bloodstains. Oop. Hello. You can see your eyes shining behind those glasses. So, is this a bloodstain? It's so... Ugh. Emma, you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a bloodstain. But doesn't something strike you as odd, scientifically speaking, of course? What's odd about this, scientifically? The location? Why the bloodstain's location, of course. It's elementary. Huh? Why is it elementary? I mean, I would think that if there was a fight, you'd expect some bloodstains here. I suppose you might think that. Come on, Mr. Wright, we're all counting on you. Okay. Maybe it's the amount of blood that's odd? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to have been more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright? I'm gonna mark out the floor plans when we find a bloodstain, okay? See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Your allowance from who? What parents? Okay, we can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. So let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah! Feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Starr! You only trust your own eyes, hmm? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but no, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know! Wow. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Skye stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. Ah. I swear it on my honor as detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph is something important to tell us, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel, too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long they called me the cough-up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten your food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go? Or fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL-9 incident. SL-9? Wait, she doesn't mean... this SL-9? What do you think about this? The SL-9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL-9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL-9 incident? If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room, but even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime? Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. Your lying was the problem. Listen, little girl, I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time? That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence, not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of a sort, made-up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved in the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be? Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean, Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. It's so weird because my cat's name is Jake. So, anyway. And then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL-9? There's another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're here after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell! There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends. Boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Star's old boyfriends. How many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives in SL-9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, rookie. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes? Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Okay. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his, are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Well, let's go talk to him. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective should get killed here after all. So, the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. Just like a kid at an amusement park. Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room. Scene of the crime? It sure seems that way. Oh. Oh. What's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is if there's a guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Yeah, no shit. Look at all the fucking alcohol. Why are they allowing him to drink like that on the job? Alright. Let's see. Yipes, these sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. I think just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. Wow. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy? A paunchy? A pinchy? I know, a poochie! Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. Who went in and out of there. Did I say that right? I don't know. I like how it just says Texas here. Look on the floor, a lasso! Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap here? Wait, I know! Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed! You sure have an active imagination. There we go. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in! It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. Okay. This place is charged with frantic energy, as always. Please! Huh? Wasn't that? Oh. One steak lunch, please! Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. Uh-oh. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. Criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? On the same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed in the police department. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect, just arrested him, in fact. Wow. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't gonna fill my belly. Okay, bye. Wait, don't leave! If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Criminal affairs? Yes. Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. Ugh, it makes my head hurt. Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating, but don't mess up or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's gonna help us much either. Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best not to go too far down that road right now. Things just get confusing. What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying! Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was against the perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Hi! Greetings, sir! Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins, so you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a lost little patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report. No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't... Is he? You, Officer Meekins, you didn't... Did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir! What? What? No, this is an unexpected turn of events. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir! Sir! Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So, normally there's a guard at the evidence room? That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person! Yow, ow, ow, ow! What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here, in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there's no one to bandage me, sir, so I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first. Tell us about how you hurt your hand. The victim first. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as a perpetrator or a victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention and alive and well at that. Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So you didn't know him. Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Okay, about your hand. Did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir. God, I hate this voice. It hurts the inside of my head when I say it. When I say his lines. Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. Next thing you knew, you were... Huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir, all alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? Then when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock! Oh, the sorrow, sir! Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared. That's some story. Officer Meekins, this is for you. Eek! I'm scared of knives, sir! It's okay, I just wanted you to take a look. That's it, sir! Last night, sir! That's the one! I was an apple, sir, in my dream, sir, and I was being peeled. Second thought, you don't have to look at the knife. He's overreacted to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir! That's it! That's it! That's what? My head was blank until this very moment. But, sir, now I remember. I remember, sir! You mean you remember what happened? Correct! That card was the cause of it all. This ID card? Exactly, sir! That's exactly it! Nothing could be more exact, sir! Nothing! I better pry into this one a little deeper. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir! That's what I've been trying to tell you! So I asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me! What? Sir, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him? Do unto others before they do unto you! My own father's words, sir! Well, what happened then? Well, my eyes, sir! Everything went white! When I woke, I was here! Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim whom he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir! That's what I wanted to say! That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? You still ended up here? They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day at that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly? No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me, it's on tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No thanks. I have my own. Well, I guess we better go check out the crime scene. Alright. Is he here yet? No. Alright. Hey, Mr. Wright, look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk. It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all, hmm? You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats, under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away, deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Aha, righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh ho ho, Chief Gant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? His theme music is also totally evil. Like... hello. Is Edgeworth going to be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boys since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? Doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Von Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court he fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf, too, I mean. They're being the prosecutors, I assume? Scientifically speaking, it's impossible! Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets, can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the Chief of Detectives' trap shut. Ah, he was the one you were picking on earlier? Huh? You saw that? Oops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the Chief of Detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. Gotta present something. What do I present? Never mind. I don't have to present something. Oh, sorry, had to see that. What exactly did the Chief of Police want you to do? Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. He took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So, nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that just in case. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. February 21st. 221. SL-9. I was wondering if you take a look at this. Sorry. Okay. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, Well, I never thought the day would come when Wright asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room? No, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. Just goes to show you never know until you ask. And for you, here, you can borrow this. Huh? Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir! It's an honor! You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. It looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir! Alright, stop talking like Meekins. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. Alright.